you're in your kitchen. I could go a lot of ways with this. Like we could do the cooking thing, like let Cam cook. We could do well, you really made yourself at home with the
Literally.
Colts
Yep.
against this Dolphins team. It's like a movie. You're saying you're
Literally.
still shocked by what happened, and it happened so quickly in this game. Why are you shocked? What's happened? What's going through your mind still days later?
Just the fact that it happened, like just going through it and seeing, my first game as a Colt and just everything being brand new. And I was so sure that I would go out there and play well just because of my preparation. I was like, because my coach told us during the week, he said, you only get one chance to make a first impression in life on anything. And that stuck with me. And that's one of the things my DB coach told me. And I was like, dang, that's so real. Because if I go out there and don't play up to my standard for myself, I'm like, that'd be a disappointment. And for me to go play well and do what we did out there for that first game, for me, new defense, new everything. And for me, it's a new chapter of my life. So I'm like, I had to make it big. So I think the whole thing about it being a movie, it literally was a movie. Like an interception, first series of being a Colt, like that's insane. Like I still can't get over it. Just I keep watching the video over and I was like, wow, it didn't feel real in real life.
Talk me through it. Talk me through this. I mean, I think I went into, even in the offseason, like, I wonder when Cam will get his first interception. That'll be great. And for it to happen in the first freaking quarter of week one, talk me through, now that you don't have to see it. You probably have it in your head ingrained. You lived it. Talk me through the interception.
Yeah, it was just simple cover three. Going against the Dolphins, we know who they want to go get the ball to. Tua is going to throw to Tyreek no matter what, and it's always going to be across the middle of the field so he can catch and run. So me playing cover three, I was a middle safety. So just knowing what they want to attack and seeing how locked in Tua was to throwing to Tyreek. We had a good pass rush. Grover Stewart, he made the ball have to be thrown a little higher. Nick Cross was in the window for me. So all that came to it just being an overthrow. And I was like, all I had to do was just catch the ball. So I honestly did the easy part of the whole play. But just for it to happen, like I said, it was crazy. And I'm still like at a loss for words. Then I was like, dang, I didn't think a celebration would come this quick.
I know it's both. Yeah, I know it's both preparation and instinct and visualization, like you do. Which one was this interception more?
I would say this one is, I'd say visualization. Just the fact that I knew exactly it's preparation, but I saw this. This was the play I circled in my notebook the week. In breaker, I have to jump an in breaker if I'm the post safety. And this is just stuff that I've seen throughout the week. And we know like what they like to attack and who they like to throw the ball to. So this is something that I literally had circled in my notebook of like, this has to be the play I make. If I don't make a play and cover three across the middle of the field this week, I kind of didn't have the game I want. So for it
Did
to
Ty,
happen that
did
quick,
Tyreek talk at all during this game? Do you hear anything from him?
nah, he was chilling. He was chilling. He wasn't talking. It was probably hard for him to talk and have fun. It was kind of, everything went right for us on the Colts. So it's like, I don't think anybody was able to talk
Yeah,
on that side.
but at that point with this, where this happened so early in the game, we don't know what's going to happen, right? It was 3-zip when
Right.
you make that interception, and then the Colts just go on to score 30 points. I'm a believer. You're a believer in visualization. I'm a huge believer in momentum. Like you started
Mhm.
what led to this like entire and complete dominant performance that we love to see.
Yeah.
And then you mentioned like, oh, I didn't think a celebration would come that early. I got to tell you, Cam, it looked like it hurt. Does that not hurt
Nah.
when you do something like
Nah, we
that?
got
Give
we
me a
got the
break.
shoulder pads on. We're chilling. I practiced it at home on the wood floor, so I'm like, if I could do it on the floor in my house, I'm like, I'm chilling with pads on. So, and when you got the adrenaline, just like anything, back when me and Josh Metellus did the front flip, I'm like, if I fall, like, oh well, I got a helmet and pads on. I was like, that was one of the easiest celebrations I've done. But we had something else planned, but it was a group celebration, and one of my teammates wasn't. I couldn't find him, so I was like, and I don't want to be a fake teammate and be a bad friend and leave somebody out of a group
Who
celebration. So I'm
was
like,
it?
it was my guy Zaire.
You couldn't
Um,
find Zaire?
he was further back, so I'm like, I can't leave him out. If me and Kenny did our celebration without Z, I'd feel so bad. So I'm like, I'm gonna be a good friend. We talked about it, we practiced it and everything. So I'm like, I'm not gonna. That's why I had to have a solo celebration in my mind, just in case the guys weren't there. Because I'm like, I can't do this group celebration without my guy Z.
is Z buying into celebrating? Like, no, or did you
Oh
have to
yeah.
convince him?
Oh
He's
yeah.
just,
Nah, that's something we always talked about. He's high energy. He's
yeah.
always turned up. So he's ready to do all the celebrations from day one.
Who's the most resistant? Meaning, and here's my question: who's the one that when you finally get them to celebrate with you, it'll be very personally rewarding to Cam Bynum?
Anybody on the D line, because none of them want to run. Notice when anybody gets an interception, none of the D line runs to the end zone. They go straight to the sideline because they say they're too tired. So if I
Name
get
who's
anybody
the
to run,
leader. No, who's the one that if you get them and get them on the hook, like you know that it's only a
I
matter
say
of time
grow,
till everybody. Who?
grow
Really?
restored. If I get him to do a celebration, because one, he's one of the funniest dudes I know. On top of
He's
that, so
awesome.
if I get him in there, that'd be check. That's a check off my bucket list.
What about Defo? Is Defo like will is he down?
He would. Yeah. He's goofy. He's goofy enough to where I'm like, I would expect him to do a celebration. But for the bigger guys, like in the more interior D linemen, I'm like, yeah, if we get any of them down there to dance or do something, I'm like, I'm happy.
What was Lou's reaction to your celebration?
He said, "What was that?" He said, "What was that?" He's like, "You got the interception, so I'm happy, but what was that?" And I'm like, I don't even know what to call it.
Does he understand what it does for you? Like, I guess like I'm asking you like about maybe and you get shout out your DB coach, but with Lou, the idea of fun. Like I remember like the idea of B flow allowing or encouraging. I was like, what?
Right.
What?
It
And
sounded
now,
crazy.
but Lou's a you called him a madman. I've called him a maniac my entire life. Like, what
Hmm.
has been his relationship with fun as far as coaching up this defense?
He encourages it too. Kind of like how we talked about B Flow would encourage it. Same thing. I think any defensive coach knows what momentum and what energy and fun does to a defense. If we're making plays, he understands that we deserve to have fun. So at the Friday practice this week, he came up to me. He said, "Cam, do you have any celebrations ready? We can do it now. I can tell
No
the
way.
quarterback to throw a pick." And I said, "Hold on, we haven't rehearsed yet. That's tomorrow." I said, "All right." I said, "Don't do it this week, but next week we'll have the group celebration." So when I'm telling you, like, he's making sure that we're actually doing it. He said, "Do you have it in practice?" He's asking me, "Do you have the celebration ready so we can practice it in front of the whole team?" So I'm
We got to
like,
get him in on it. How
"Oh,
can like we've it's never been done.
it's never been done." But the second I get a coach in on the celebration, where
Game over.
we have the crown forever. Like nobody's done it.
I'm gonna need Coach Lou to like get involved
He'll
a
do
little
it. We just have to be up by a few scores and we'll be safe.
bit. You said that he is a madman. Your words. Can you explain what
Mhm.
you mean by that?
Just super competitive. Like he's one of those coaches where he's just competitive, always, he's seeing it as a chess match against the opposing coach. And really the way that he's sending blitzes and really just versatile, everything that he did, especially this game, my first time being in a game that he's called. I got to understand him as a person more this time, just seeing how he was mixing things up, his mindset, how he was more aggressive than I thought he would be, but also in times where it was smart to not be aggressive, he was smart enough to back off and take his foot off the gas a little to just, play some coverage sometimes, let us get a play off. Then we'll send some more heat. Then we'll go to man coverage and we'll mix up a zone. And I think that's why we had the success we did with a lot of guys, with Kenny Moore getting the strip sack, with Nick Cross getting the sack. The quarterback had no clue where the pressures were coming from, just because we were mixing things up every single series, mixing up plays and just doing things that there was really no way to catch us off guard with a play, because we were caught off guard by these calls. We're like, okay, we're playing a man first down. All right, we're going a blitz on second. All right, now we're in zone on third, and it was just like unorthodox, but it was fun because I knew that it was throwing the offense off too, because we weren't. I was like, I couldn't even predict the calls at some point in the game. He was just having fun with it.
He's having fun with it. I think that might be something that needs to be highlighted, especially just
For
the way,
sure.
and that's I think what, and I mean, not let's not pretend like you're all just fun and games. Like I'm looking at your numbers right now, ninth career interception. You had two passes defense to the stat sheet, and adding that as well. Like so, like it's not you bring everything to the table, but I do think that sort of like looseness, the fun, especially like even if I'm looking at the offensive side, just like Daniel Jones deserves that. He doesn't. He's never
Exactly.
had that in his
Exactly.
career. So for him to like have that injection of what would be, I don't know, a good time, like like remembering
Exactly.
the purity of the game. That sort of when I look at you, like that's what I see. Like Yeah, I do want to talk about the celebrations because they are meaningful. They're
Mhm.
important and they add something to this. That said, how upset was Coach Lou about not pitching a shutout?
He was pretty mad, even though we were up by 30 something points. Once
Yep.
once we gave up that touchdown, we heard it on the sideline, and we were like, human nature wants to tell you, yeah, we're winning the game, we're good, like they're not gonna come back. But all of us, even more than coaches being mad, we were sick on defense. Like, wow, we could have just had a shutout. That's just a standard thing. Like, you have such high standards, especially
Yeah.
if you hold them to nothing all game, and in garbage time you give up a touchdown and a long drive. It's like that's low. That's shooting low for anybody. So for us to not get that shutout was disappointing, but that kind of left us even more hungry because we knew that, okay, we took our foot off the gas, even though it didn't affect the game. But yeah, coach, he let us hear it when when we came off the sideline. There's a few minutes left in the game, and we're still he's showing us the iPads and showing us, hey, who's in this gap or why are we missing this tackle? Whatever the mistakes were,
I love him.
it's like we need to fix it. And even though that's why I think we do such a good job. Just as veterans, so many veterans on this defense, is everybody's still getting coached hard. And that's one thing about Lou, that even from the beginning of training camp, he's yelling at vets, he's yelling at young guys,
Mhm.
rookies, whatever. It doesn't matter. If you're making a mistake, he's going to hold you accountable. And that's one thing that I respect about him so much, because he doesn't play when it comes to coaching and helping people get better.
And I loved hearing that from Defo, even in training camp, that he's like welcoming the coaching, like the call me
Exactly.
out, make me better, make this whole team better, which we love. Let's talk a little bit about Daniel Jones. What a star. The
I know,
performance, couldn't be happier for him. Wanted it for him. He needed it, right?
for
Beautiful
sure.
debut, just like you on the other side of the ball. Three total touchdowns, right? He did something
Hmm.
no other quarterback this century has done,
It's
Cam. He
insane.
led the
It's
offense to
insane.
7 scores on 7 possessions. How insane was it?
It was just for me because I've had history with him. He knocked us out the playoffs in 2022 when he was balling in New York. Then he had the tough years of his career, his late time in New York, then being in Minnesota on our practice squad last season. So I've kind of seen every part, like from a distance.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't get to know him until he came to Minnesota, but a guy that beat us, knocked us out the playoffs, then see him
2022.
grinding, yeah, grinding on the practice squad and taking those practice squad reps at quarterback super serious last year, and being able to go against him and have those conversations with him when he's asking us on defense, what coverage were you in? And I'm like, any scout quarterback might just, let those things go. But he was there taking everything serious and just taking in all the knowledge he can get in his half a year in Minnesota. So when he came here and had the game that he had, it was like, for me, just as a fan of him as a person and seeing him work so hard, I'm like, this is what football is all about. Just seeing him, come out of all the noise in the media and overcome all of that to have an amazing game. Like you said, nobody in this century has done what he just did, and just really be able to redeem himself as a person. Because so many people counted him out, but for me as a teammate, I never had any doubt in him, because
Mm.
I've seen what he's been able to do against me, playing against me, but then I've seen the work behind the scenes when he was on practice squad, then to earning his starting spot, then to earning the game that he had the other day.
I mean, yeah, he knocked you out of the playoffs, 2022 wild
I
card. That's
know.
what you're talking about. You've seen that. You're smiling now
I've
because you guys
seen
get to be
it.
on the same team. You didn't doubt him. A lot of people do, which is sort of understandable from an outside perspective, lack of success
Right.
and all that, all that.
Mhm.
What's been the biggest change? Not maybe even from him, but just what's the biggest maybe factor that has allowed him to be like, what deserves the most credit for what we're seeing right now?
I think coaches that are supporting him and truly supporting him regardless of a situation. I think
Mm.
that's one thing that I've seen just in my few years playing in the NFL. Like, being supportive and being, having a coach that believes in you, that isn't gonna drag you through the mud if you make mistakes, or throw you under the bus and say everything is your fault. You're the quarterback. You're the franchise. We're not successful because of you. Seeing people that support their quarterback and support their players no matter what is the best way for people to grow. And that's what I've seen, with him having to go through a quarterback competition in training camp, to him winning the spot, and just everybody was supportive, and everybody he knew. I'm sure he knows that everybody on this team from top to bottom supported him going into this game. And I think confidence is a real thing. And when you know that people are behind you and people believe in you, I think that I think it's human nature. You're going to play better because people are believing in you to do what you know how to do.
Really well said. And I'd love for you to give love. I can't believe like you're a veteran. You're like a veteran. It's
I
so
know.
crazy.
How crazy
Like
is that?
it's
5 years.
crazy. It's crazy. But then I am looking at like Tyler Warren, and he's such a like young cat in this thing, right? 7 catches on 9 targets, 76 yards. He was the toast of the town when I was in Indy over the summer.
Mhm.
He rushed for a first down. You love to see it.
Yes.
Steichen called him an old school throwback freaking baller. That's what your
Yes.
crazy coach said. So you're saying yes, you match up with him in practice. How would you describe him and what makes him old school?
Well, first to describe him, if I didn't know he was a rookie, I'd have no clue. Like the way that he carries himself, the way that he came in and like knew the offense right away. Like I'd never seen like a rookie, quote unquote, rookie mistake out of him. Whether it's jumping off sides or running the wrong routes, like everything from day one when he got here seemed like just from outside looking in, competing against him, seemed like he's been in the system for a while. Seemed like he's played the NFL style of football for a while. And that's like the craziest thing to me because when he got in the game, he was operating like a veteran, blocking well, doing well in the run game, but then also opens up the pass game for him. And the way that he started off the game, he had a few catches in the first series. And I'm like, okay, he's about to have this type of season. So seeing that, it was no surprise because I'm like, he's been like that in practice. But for him to do it in a game and be consistent and one of those guys that's looking for contact once he has the ball, he's not just running out of bounds. He's trying to run through a DB. I'm like, okay, I love to see that when it's on my team.
I love that you got the Broncos on Sunday, my friend. You could get interception number 10. That's a special one, right? 10 double
I
digit
know.
career. what what's in your bag? How deep is the celebration bag?
Oh, I have a full note section in my phone. Only thing is just deciding how to max out and how to one up the last one. So that's
Yeah.
my battle week to week of how much better can I get. But we got some good stuff. The group celebration that me, Z, and Kenny Moore were supposed to do. We'll add some more players to the group celebration, make it even bigger for
Come
this
on,
week. So
Gro.
it's gonna be good. Yeah, Grove might do it. It doesn't take too much effort. So if he's tired, he can do it.
Sean Payton is
I think
going to freak out.
I know because he's an old school coach too, so he probably hates all the celebrations
Right.
and the
I don't
fun.
know. I don't 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 know. What's standing out about Bo Nix to get you to this 10th career interception that we're visualizing for you come Sunday?
Really good quarterback. I'd say he can get a lot of jobs done. He's mobile, he's good arm, can do a lot. But for me, I think there's opportunities everywhere, especially when Coach Lou is calling the defense that he's gonna do, mixing things up and not showing one look and us doing our job of disguising coverages and just doing our job. I think the ball will obviously be in the air. They have really good running backs, but you can't run the ball all game, especially when we have a good front
Mhm.
seven like we do. They make it tough on the other team. So, but they have to be able to pass the ball also. So like that's where I'm seeing opportunities. And even before watching too much on them, it's like in my mind, it's all about what we can do on defense. Like there's always going to be opportunities if you do your job. So I'm expecting, especially got one first week. I'm like, why can't I have one every single game this year? That's the year I'm trying to have this year. I'm trying to touch double digit picks and try and who knows what can happen.
Double digit picks for the season would be amazing. I don't think
It'd be
that's out of the
insane.
realm of possibility. The one hesitation I might have, honestly, with you, as I would with any player going to a new team, is that every player is always like, I need to settle in. I need to like, I'm talking about like the Josh Jacobs of the world, Derek
Mhm.
Carr. I can name like 11 players that are like, yeah, the first year you're there, you're worried about other things, whatever. Like you're in your kitchen, you looked settled.
Yes.
Who has made you on that team feel the most at home, which we could tell from your vibes, what you're bringing to the team. But like you are new and that is a factor. Why isn't it for you? Who's been your bestie that's gotten you to feel like you're home?
I said Kenny Moore. He was a guy that welcomed me in and was like almost like escorting me around the facility, showing me where everything was, introducing me to all these people, even like off the field, like meeting a bunch of random business people.
That's
Just
awesome.
like everybody. He's like, "Hey Cam, come here, come meet this person." And I'm like, "Oh, this dude, he actually cares." And he's been a real friend to me since day one, and just making sure that I know all the ropes for things simple as like body work people and like massage therapists, or if I need treatment or anything. He's just giving me recommendations on anything with food, just from top to bottom. He's been there for me since I got in Indianapolis, and for him being a vet, also I learned a bunch from him on the field too. But for most of the part, off the field, he's been the main one that's welcomed me with open arms and has really been a good friend through the, 'cause, it's hard going to a whole new team, having to learn people's
I know.
names. Like it's not an easy thing, especially me being in Minnesota for 4 years, loving it there. Coming here was such a big change for me, and it happening so quick. Like, getting here, had the
Yeah.
baby and everything. There's so
Yeah.
much that was different for me. So he really made it simple for me to
I
just
know it
settle
looked
into the
easy. I'm
football
like,
part.
oh, first quarter, cool. Like what? I love
Exactly.
that.
Looks
That's
like
just the
I'm
kind of
already at
year.
home.
That's just the
But
kind of year we're trying to have. I know it was an emotional
exactly.
game as well, and you're new to it, but I mean, you're a human being.
Hmm.
You're a wonderful human being, so you understood like the gravity of the game, right? With everything and
Right.
honoring Jim Irsay,
Hmm.
the celebration, but the heaviness of what it was. And I know that his daughters were around; they were everywhere. There's so much
Yes.
being made of Carlie Irsay-Gordon being on the sideline. She was last year. She had the headset on. You
Right.
weren't there for that. Can you sort of explain what her role was? Did you talk to her? Like, what was because there's like a huge viral moment because, she looks badass, firstly. She looks
I
freaking
know with the
awesome.
headset on, I'm like, that's fire.
It is
That's
fire. And to have an
hard.
owner down there, like, what was that? What was the dynamic?
It's just this is the most involved I've seen with an owner, and obviously I've only been in the NFL going on my fifth year, so don't have too much experience. But just she's just so involved in everything during OTA. She was sitting in the defensive meeting with a notebook, same notebook that we're writing in, writing the installs and asking me, "Hey, what's the coverage on this play? Okay, what are you doing?" Like learning football, and I know that thing came out the other day of her quote saying she wants to be able to see if people know what they're talking about. And she's a person as an owner, like that's insane to me. Like the fact that she's sitting in defensive meetings, learning the defense with us and knowing what the calls are and knowing who's in what spots and actually taking the time to learn that because she doesn't have to. Being an owner of a team, like you don't have to do any of that. You don't have to show up in the building every single day. She's there every single day.
Every day?
Like I've seen her from my recall, like she's there in the building pretty much every single day. And so just seeing how involved that she is, she's in the weight room working out while we're getting our lift in. She's up there doing her cardio. Just being involved and being a normal person makes really this whole organization just feel like a family thing and like nobody's bigger than the program. Like you're the owner, humble enough to, just come here and have casual conversation with people. I've never seen that before. And Carlie and all the sisters, they all do such a great job. And I see now the stories that I hear about Jim Irsay, it all makes sense now. I wasn't able to meet him,
Mm.
but everything makes sense when I see how she's operating and how she truly loves being here and being the owner. But
I mean,
like
she
like I
wants
said,
to be great when you own the team, when
exactly
you're making business decisions and you're evaluating what's going on. It makes sense. I
right.
love hearing that you're welcoming of it. I love that she's getting a sweat in on
Literally,
on
like
the
she's just
stair
a normal
climber.
person, and you never
Yeah.
expect that out of an NFL owner. So I'm like, that's so cool to me that she's just that humble to be able to just operate like a regular person around.
Can we get her on a
Um,
celebration? Like how
oh my
badass?
gosh, she would do it too. She would do it. I
Get
know,
her.
like
Like this
how far,
is
like that's just hard. Like she's just out there looking like a boss.
She literally, yeah, I loved every second of that. And I'll continue to love every second of that. Last one for you. Vikings game, fresh on my mind, like craziest week one of all time. When that fourth quarter happens, as somebody who you're entire, what is that face?
Insane,
I
insane.
know, but like explain to me what happened. I don't understand what happened. What happened?
Um, I know you're a fan of him, but JJ McCarthy happened. The fact that he can overcome what happened in the first half, I think they went like 0 for 10 on third down, which the stats percentage wise on third down, you lose that, that's a big deal when it comes to winning and
Mhm.
losing games. But the fact that, he threw his first interception, it being pick six, like all that stuff could mess your head up so bad as a first year quarterback, first year playing in his case, like all of that could have went so wrong But all the stories about, the crazy
Hmm.
maniac, how much of a maniac JJ is, all those stories came true. So in the fourth quarter, what do you have? Three fourth quarter touchdowns.
Yes, like it was insane. They
Like,
just put up points.
yeah,
But you're
he
saying it's
made
all on him. It's
he
something
made
that
those
he
stories.
found.
Yes, he made those stories be real. Like people
Lord.
may call those stories like, okay, he's just putting on an act. But when he went out there and did what he did in the fourth quarter, it's like, all right, you can say nothing about JJ McCarthy's mindset because he clutched the whole game. It was beautiful to watch, and especially for him to be like see the preparation, just the long path. But obviously the defense, the balled out always, as always in the
B-Flow was
second
like,
half.
let me turn the
He's
heat
like, all
up,
right,
baby.
exactly. He's like, all right, let me lock back in. So B Flow locked back in. Defense started going crazy. But like I said, what stood out to me was JJ. Just the fact that he overcame what happened in the first half and just was able to do what he did. And, getting the other JJ a touchdown, that momentum, that's one of the biggest things in
Momentum.
football. Like, that's so real.
That's so real. And it flipped in that, yeah, missed field goal, the whole vibe. It was
Exactly.
unbelievable. Wanted to get, well, I was watching and I was like, I don't think like Kevin's doing anything different.
No, he
Like, I
just
don't
said,
think
all
that
right,
they,
let's
and I don't like
settle
that.
in. Yeah, it's just like settle in. Let's
But
just play
no,
our ball.
Cam, they're settling in. And then there's like, what lobotomy happened? Like, what, like,
Yeah.
it was night
It
and
was
day.
crazy.
It was
Yeah, it was
people
like
were
two
saying he's
different
the
teams.
worst quarterback ever, worst. I mean, if he did that bad stuff for 4 quarters, it would have been the worst rookie performance that I could remember out of a quarterback,
Ever.
bar
But
none.
that's how funny Twitter is because everybody had to go back, either delete
I didn't
or
tweet.
comment back on their tweets and be like, sorry, that didn't age
Yeah.
well.
But it shows you what confident and like, and that's when I look at Daniel Jones, like just keep that, right? Just freaking keep
Exactly.
that, hold on to that,
Right.
harness it. And it's going to be hard. It's a huge challenge against these Broncos. So let's go,
Exactly. They
Daniel.
have an insane defense. So, like, that's why we couldn't get too high off a week one win. We have 16 games left where we have to do the same exact thing, but you take all the good from it and carry it over.
Can't wait to see the celebration. And I can't wait.
Trust me.
I want it to show you, but I also want like coach's face,
All
if
right, got you.
that
We'll start planning. We'll start planning our coach celebration.
appreciate you so much. Thank you for the insight. Congratulations. It couldn't happen to a better guy. So like
Thank you so
excited for
much.
you. Perfect way to start the season. Keep it going.
Yep, I will. Appreciate you.
Good luck. Bye, Cam.